come to a standing position. Bring your feet hip width apart and center yourself for a moment. And come into some gentle pelvic scoops to allow the hips to sink and the pelvis to push forward. Gentle rhythmic movements, as you can see from the side. We're just moving gently into the hips. You can go as deep or as shallow as feels comfortable, allowing this energy to move up through the legs into the pelvis. Shoulders stay relaxed. You can add in some arm movements if that feels comfortable. Reaching up and out. Notice you'll find your own little pattern of breath, your own pattern of movement. There's no right and wrong way. Just allow the body to feel the movement. You can even improvise a little bit. When you've had enough, just gently come back to a still place. And step the feet a little bit wider. Turn the toes out as we come into squats. So we're going to use the breath, exhaling down, inhaling, lifting. Supporting your belly, making sure the knees are nice and open. Or you can add in some arm movement. So as you breathe in, you can reach your arms up. As you exhale, arms down, sinking down into the hips. Going as deep or as shallow as feels comfortable. I'm going to add in a fierce warrior or a fierce goddess posture. So as you exhale, you're going to drop the elbows, poke out the tongue, roll the eyes up, and then come back to center. And we'll do that once more. Breathing in. Exhaling, good. And then just come back to a nice calm place after you've released all that tension from the face, the jaw. And find a little bit more movement into the hips, this time from side to side, swaying the hips, side to side. You can find a little bit of movement in the chest, turning the head from side to side. Listen to how your body feels in these standing postures. Keep the feet nice and connected. You can rotate into the pelvis now, making some circles around like as if you're hula hooping. Adding some arms side to side. And just improvise slightly with your own body. Okay, do this as long as it feels comfortable. Moving into our warrior sequence, step your right foot forward. Breathe in, bend the front knee, reaching the arms forward. Exhaling, releasing. Bending the knee as you reach out and release. Flowing with the breath. Making sure the feet are nice and balanced and they're not too close together. You're going to turn the hips a little bit facing forward. Step the back foot a little bit wider and sink the knee down. We're going to rock in and out again with the breath. Breathing in, sinking down, exhaling, releasing. Breathing in and release. Go at your own pace. You might be a little bit slower or faster than me. Then we'll do both of those on the other side. So notice there's a nice gap between the legs. You can release in between with some pelvic scoops. Always feels quite nice to release. So the left foot forward, the right foot's back. Turn the toes out slightly into our warrior 2 posture, our pregnant warrior. So we don't hold the postures for too long. We use the breath to move in and out. Finding space and length and strength, but also releasing back into a still point. Squaring those hips up again. Sinking down and releasing. Breathing in and out. Remember to allow that back hip to do what it needs to do. Although it's slightly coming forward, make sure that it's the chest that is square to the front. Keep the back foot connected to the floor. This is your anchor. And then gently come back to neutral again, releasing to the hips. You can sway from side to side. Here I'm just improvising what feels comfortable for me. So you can release into the toes, the ankle, rocking into the heel and to the toes. Get a nice good calf stretch. spine lengthened. Stretching into the front of the foot if that feels comfortable. If it doesn't, just leave. And then as you place the foot down, notice all the points of your foot connecting to the floor. As we move to the other side. Rocking forwards and backwards from the heel to the toes. Coming into a toe stretch. And then placing the heel down to the floor, lowering the whole of the rest of the foot down. Both feet should feel nice and connected to the floor. Breathing in, reaching the arms up. Interlacing your fingers, stretch the arms up to the ceiling. Take the weight to one side, back to the center, and to the other. Moving slow and gently. If you feel comfortable, you can come onto your toes, reaching a little bit higher. Exhale and release the arms, release the toes down. And we're ready in for tree balance. So you can place your foot onto your ankle or your calf. And bring your hands to your heart. If you want to go a little bit further, you can support yourself, bring your foot into the inner thigh, pushing the foot into the leg to the foot, and balance. Reaching the arms up, or you can bring them to the sides. Coming into a grounding mudra, connecting you to the earth. Find a single point to focus on and breathe. As you release, bring your foot back to the floor. We come to the other side, and each side might feel slightly different. So as you come out to the other side, shift the weight to the other leg. Bring the foot to the calf, the thigh, and just test how that feels. You can bring the foot a little bit higher into the thighs, steer clear of the knee. And if you do wobble, it's okay. Find back where you're most comfortable. The main point is you find that stillness in the breath and the mind. And trees aren't static. Sometimes they move. Notice what happens when the wind blows. See if you can keep a still mind with that swaying tree. And then gently come back to center. Releasing into the hips, the legs. Give your legs a little shake out if you need. Give yourself a nice big stretch. I'm gently going to come back to kneeling. So to transition to come down, reach the arms up, bend the knees, reaching the arms forward until your hands reach the floor. Walk your hands forward, drop the knees at the same time. This keeps the back nice and even. Whilst you're here, you can take a few stretches, backwards and forwards. Or coming straight back into child's pose. Another alternative is to come into head posture with the arms reaching out in front, or making a pillow with your arms resting your head. It doesn't have to be completely still either. You can soften into the hips, make a little bit of movement. And just breathe and rest. Slowly bring the hands back, kneeling back onto your heels. Bring your hands to your heart space. Connecting with the babies once again, bringing the hand to the heart, one hand over your bump. Feel the breath moving between these two places, connecting your heart to your baby's heart. Bring your knees to the front and bring your feet round to one side. You can have one leg in front, one leg behind you. Feel the weight coming on to the front leg and bring your hand behind you, other hand on the hip. Come into a gentle twist. Now the twist comes from the hip and the buttock. Squeeze in the buttock and releasing. We're working with the breath once again. Squeeze and release. You can add in an arm, breathing in, squeezing the buttock, exhaling, releasing. So you get a nice opening in the chest whilst also working into that hip. This is a really stabilizing posture. Do as many as feels comfortable. When you're ready to swap sides. Before we do, we're just going to rock in and out of the pelvis. We do this as far as feels comfortable. And then bring the top leg over, bring the knees up, and then swivel the legs to the other side. So the front leg comes out in front, the back leg just tucks slightly behind you. The weight goes over and the hand is supporting on the floor. Into the other side, squeezing the buttock and releasing. Allow the chest to open up as well. So that freedom of breath. And adding in your arm movement when you feel ready. So as you breathe in, you reach the arm up, exhaling the arm back. Doesn't have to be a straight arm, can be slightly softly bent, and then that allows a little bit more rotation into the shoulder. Creating space in the rib cage as baby grows. Giving you more space to breathe as baby has space to breathe. Release into the hips, you can rock in and out. Rolling the chest forward, lift it up and back. These gentle pelvic scoops and wiggles, listening to how our body feels.